Much of Black history has been obscured or misrepresented, especially when it comes to the remarkable achievements of Black women. Although schools may not cover their stories, these powerful women have been resilient throughout history, with many becoming self-made millionaires and influential figures as they overcame systematic obstacles to achieve their goals. From starting off with nothing to enduring the harsh realities of slavery and racism and becoming self-made millionaires through hard work and perseverance, we'll be unveiling the Black female millionaires they didn't teach you in school. So join us as we explore the untold stories of these incredible Black women and celebrate their achievements that have continued to inspire and pave the way for many generations to this day. Biddy Mason. Biddy Mason stands as a wonderful example of a Black woman who overcame numerous challenges to become a prominent figure in Black history. Biddy was born into slavery on August 15, 1818, but she eventually transformed to a prosperous entrepreneur and philanthropist in California, where she worked as a nurse and midwife. Throughout her childhood, Biddy Mason experienced the heart-wrenching separation from her parents and endured being sold as a slave multiple times, laboring on plantations in Georgia, Mississippi, and South Carolina. One of these plantations was owned by John Smithson, where Biddy worked alongside other servants and midwives, acquiring valuable skills and experience in the process. In 1836, Biddy was given as a wedding gift to Robert and Rebecca Smith, who brought her to their plantation in Logtown, Mississippi. It was there that Biddy further developed her skills in midwifery and herbal medicine, eventually gaining a well-deserved reputation for her expertise in these fields. During her time on the Smith plantation, Biddy gave birth to 3 daughters, Ellen, Anne, and Harriet, who were allegedly fathered by Robert Smith. On January 21, 1856, Biddy and her 3 daughters were freed from slavery when they arrived in California, as the state's laws prohibited slavery. Upon gaining her freedom, Biddy and her daughters relocated to Los Angeles, where she persisted in her role as a nurse and midwife. She not only earned a respectable income, but she also gained a strong reputation for her extensive knowledge of herbal medicine. Her expertise and skills helped her to achieve financial independence and stability. With the money she earned as a nurse and a midwife, Biddy bought 2 lots of land in Los Angeles, making her one of the first African-American women to own property in the city. Biddy used the land for gardening and built small rental houses to boost her income, which eventually resulted in her amassing substantial wealth. As a result of her financial success, Biddy made a fortune of around $3 million, which she used to support her community in Los Angeles. She gave generously to a variety of charities, provided food and shelter for the needy, and even visited prisoners to offer support and comfort. Biddy's generosity and compassion were evident in all aspects of her life. After her death on January 15, 1891, Biddy was laid to rest in the Evergreen Cemetery in Los Angeles, and she is remembered as one of the most remarkable Black female millionaires and philanthropists in history. Annie Turnbo Malone. Next on our list is Annie Turnbo Malone, an inventive chemist and savvy businesswoman. She created and sold hair products tailored for African American women and achieved millionaire status through her success in St. Louis. Annie Malone was born in Metropolis, Illinois, and in 1869 to parents who were formerly enslaved. She was the 10th of 11 children, and after losing her parents early in life, was raised by her older sister. Despite her challenging childhood, Annie was determined to get an education and attended high school in Peoria, Illinois. Driven by her passion for hair care products, Annie ventured into the development and production of a range of safer alternatives, which included non-damaging hair straighteners, specialized oils, and hair-stimulating products, all marketed under the brand Wonderful Hair Grower. In 1902, Annie recognized St. Louis's flourishing economy and the opportunity presented by the upcoming World's Fair and decided to relocate there to expand the reach of her products on a larger scale. However, as a Black woman, Annie faced barriers to accessing standard distribution channels, but she remained undeterred and worked alongside her assistants by taking to the streets, going door to door to showcase her products and grow her business. Annie's hard work eventually paid off, and the wonderful hair grower products were a huge hit at the 1904 World's Fair, which helped to propel her business to new heights. Building on her success, Annie expanded her business beyond St. Louis and ventured to the national market. She named her thriving enterprise the Turnbo Company. By the end of World War I, Annie Malone had amassed substantial wealth, making her one of the wealthiest African American women of her era. Her philanthropic spirit shone brightly as she generously donated to numerous African American organizations and charities. After living a full and accomplished life, Annie Turnbo passed away at Chicago's Providence Hospital on May 10, 1957, after suffering a stroke. She had no children as she left her estate in company to her nieces and nephews. After her death, Annie's legacy of philanthropy continued, with the St. Louis Orphans Home being renamed the Annie Malone Children and Family Service Center in 1946. The street where the center is located was also renamed Annie Malone Drive, commemorating her contributions to the city and its residents. Madam C.J. Walker. In the line of beauty and cosmetics, Annie wasn't the only successful African American pioneer. Her former employee, Madam C.J. Walker, was believed to be even more successful. Madam C.J. Walker, whose real name is Sarah Breedlove, was born on December 23, 1867, to enslaved parents near Delta, Louisiana, USA. Sarah was the first child in her family to be born into freedom after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which abolished slavery in the United States. When Sarah was just 7 years old, tragedy struck as she lost both her parents, leaving her alone in the world. At the tender age of 14, she had to marry Moses McWilliams to escape an abusive family member. However, by the time she turned 20, she found herself widowed with a young daughter to raise. To make ends meet for herself and her child, Sarah worked tirelessly as a washerwoman in St. Louis, earning a meager $1 per day. During her time as a washerwoman, Sarah faced frustration with the hair care products available as they proved ineffective. This prompted her to start experimenting with her unique formula in hopes of addressing scalp infections and hair loss. In her quest, Sarah spent approximately 2 years working as a sales agent for the Turnbo Company, founded by Annie Turnbo Malone. In July 1905, at the age of 37, Sarah and her daughter relocated to Denver, Colorado. While still employed by the Turnbo Company, she embarked on the journey of developing her own business. In 1906, after marrying Charles Joseph Walker, Sarah adopted the name Madam C.J. Walker. As a self-sufficient businesswoman, she skillfully marketed herself as both a hairdresser and a cosmetics retailer. Simultaneously, her husband and business partner played a vital role in providing essential marketing and promotional insights, enabling her to effectively sell her products door to door. Along the way, she also empowered fellow Black women by educating them about hairstyling and maintenance. Between 1911 and 1919, Madam Walker and her company achieved remarkable success, employing thousands of women as sales agents for her products. As a prosperous entrepreneur, Madam Walker used her wealth to champion various philanthropic causes. Sadly, on May 25, 1919, at the age of 51, she passed away due to kidney failure and hypertension. Her final resting place is a historic Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx, New York City. At the time of her death, Madam Walker's net worth was estimated to be between $500,000 and $1 million, solidifying her status as one of the wealthiest African American women in the United States. Alelia Walker. The path to wealth indeed varies for each individual. Some begin with substantial advantages such as inheritances, valuable connections, or access to quality education. This brings us to the story of Alelia Walker, originally known as Alelia McWilliams. Alelia Walker, born in 1885, was the daughter of Madam C.J. Walker. She joined her mother's business after attending college, and when her mother died in 1919, Alelia inherited the Walker Company and the family's estate Villa Liwaro, which are worth millions of dollars in today's money. Alelia's inheritance not only made her one of the wealthiest African-American women of her time, but it also gave her the means to expand the Walker Company and live a lavish lifestyle. As the new president of the Walker Company, Alelia introduced innovative marketing tactics to boost the business. However, during the 1930s Great Depression, the company's earnings declined significantly. To cope with financial challenges, Alelia had to part with many valuable art and antiques from Villa Liwaro, which had been a hallmark of the estate's popularity. Alelia battled hypertension and passed away from a cerebral hemorrhage on August 17, 1931. Her funeral was a remarkable and unforgettable occasion, drawing thousands of attendees. After her passing, her adopted daughter, Fairy Mae Bryant, inherited both her business and the remaining properties in her estate. Sarah Rector. Another female black millionaire who was privileged from a young age was Sarah Rector. Sarah was an African-American girl who earned the title of the richest colored girl in the world when she was just 11 years old. Her story began on March 3, 1902 in Taft, Oklahoma, a town mostly inhabited by African Americans and situated in what was then Indian Territory. Sarah's parents, Rose McQueen and Joseph Rector, were of Creek descent. Their ancestors were formerly enslaved by the Creek Indians. With the state of Oklahoma about to be formed, the Dawes Allotment Act in 1907 divided the land of the Creek among the Creeks, white settlers, and the Creek freedmen. Due to this act, hundreds of black children who were referred to as Creek freedmen minors were given 160 acres of land each. While the U.S. government gave land to Sarah Rector and other families of her family at no cost, the land they were given was typically of poor quality and located on rocky ground that was unsuitable for farming. On the other hand, white settlers were given fertile and productive land. Sarah was given approximately 160 acres which were rocky and unsuitable for agriculture. Her allotment was located in the town of Glenpool, about 97 kilometers from where she and her family resided, and the land was valued at $556.50. However, Sarah's family fortunes were dramatically transformed in 1913 when independent oil driller B.B. Jones struck a massive gusher on Sarah's property, producing over 105,000 gallons of oil per day. Thanks to the discovery of oil on her property, Sarah Rector's income skyrocketed, and by 1913, she was making a remarkable $300 per day, equivalent to $7,000 to $8,000 in 2020. In October 1913 alone, she earned a whopping $11,567 from her property. Sarah's remarkable wealth afforded her a life of luxury, allowing her to don beautiful attire and drive lavish cars. She hosted extravagant parties and mingled with celebrities like Count Basie and Duke Ellington. Sadly, at the age of 65, Sarah Rector passed away on July 22, 1967. She found her eternal resting place at Blackjack Cemetery in Taft, Oklahoma, where she had spent her childhood.